All right, so almost forgot that, but so we're recording now. So yeah, so I always felt like I needed to do more, and there are a lot of people right now in jobs that and they're hurting. They want to do more, but they feel trapped. They say they don't have the time to focus on much else, and it's very interesting because if you're going to spend 8 hours on a job or at a business place that is not yours, will never be yours, you will never own, you can't own shares in it, you can't pass it on. If you're going to devote that much time of your life to something that will never ever be yours, then you probably need to reevaluate some things, right? If you have a job and you love your job, great. I always believe that you should work because you want to and not because you have to. All right. But in saying that, I say this, please do understand that it's not always easy being a full-time entrepreneur. All right. There are times where I have had it so incredibly hard, right? And there's no job there. But then there are other times where I had it so incredibly easy and money was not an issue whatsoever. So, but you got to understand that there's going to be the good, there's going to be the bad, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's going to be disappointments, there's going to be setbacks. But the question that you got to ask yourself is, how bad do you really want it? Like, what is your ultimate reason? What is your why? We call it the why factor, right? What is your why factor? What is it that makes you get up every single day and do what you got to do when you go to that job and deal with people that you don't like, right, every day, and you're doing this for pay that can't do the things you need it to do. So you're always stretching that money. What is the reason that you do it? For some people, they just want to be debt free. For some people, they want to provide a better situation for their family, for their children. For some people, they just need to get out of their environment. For other people, it's just a drive. They like to be challenged. So they just do what they do because they like that challenge. I know people that have jobs and they don't need to be in those jobs. They make more than, outside of the job than their job pays them, but they're still working. It's not because they have to, they do it because they love their job. All right. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to work and have a job, do it because you love to do it. But if you're doing it because you have no choice, if you're doing it because there's nothing else to sustain you, then you need to reevaluate some things. And you need to ask yourself, what else can I do to increase my level of income? All right. So one of the things that I want to talk about a little bit, or part of what I want to talk about is changing your mindset, guys. All right. Changing your mindset. One of the biggest reasons that I would say that I've been able to stay in this industry and keep doing this and never have to reach the point where I have to go back to a full-time job is because of my mindset. There's a lot of things that I've gone through that most persons could not have survived psychologically. And I mean, I give you an example. Imagine, well, everyone here, I would agree, I would assume, would love to earn $50,000 a month, right? $100,000 a month, okay? Could you imagine reaching that and then all of it was just gone? Do you think that a lot of people could come back from that and would say, hey, okay, it happened, let's keep moving on? Right? I've been there. I know what it feels like to have reached to that point, right? Because as many of you know, I do multiple things, multiple streams of income, and I know what it feels like to have reached that point where you add it up and it's like $150,000 for the month. But then because, different reasons outside of my control, that was all gone. So for most people, starting over from scratch from something like that, they can't do, right? So it means you have to develop a certain kind of mindset. For those of you who are in the business, you're trying to build it, maybe you're not getting the kind of response that you want. Understand this, that there are persons out there that are not going to understand things on the level that you do. And you can't get mad with them. You can't get annoyed with them. It's not that they don't want to at all the time. It's that that's what they've been trained and accustomed to doing. It's like religion in a sense, where if you come up and grow up in a specific religion, most people, no matter what you tell them, they will always revert to their teachings and their belief system that they grew up with, that they were taught and indoctrinated with. It's the same. It's for Christians. It's the same thing for Muslims. It's the same thing for Hindus, Buddhists. There's specific things that they always revert to based on those teachings. because that's what you come up learning and knowing and being taught, right? So you have to understand that most people, they grow up in a world where they are taught that they're supposed to work hard. Everything that you're supposed to do is work hard, study hard, work hard, focus hard. So then when people are complaining, why are they surprised? You've been programmed to do everything hard. Why not, when you work joyfully. Do something that when you do it, it makes you feel good. Then it's not hard work. It doesn't feel like hard work because you're enjoying doing it. The problem is a lot of persons are doing things that they're not destined to do. A lot of people are in positions doing things that they're not meant for. Are you guys with me? Why do you think that most people have heart attacks on Monday mornings? It's because they're not waking up into their purpose. They're waking up to go do something that they probably don't like, working with someone that they can't stand, being around people that they also can't stand, for money that isn't able to suffice what they need to do in life. So until you get to the point where you're doing something that you love and you're fulfilling your purpose, you will always be unhappy. You will always have to fight hard and struggle hard and work hard and study hard and do everything hard. So then life is hard, right? Because your focus and your teaching, your indoctrination is, it must be done hard. So start to change the way that you speak, change the way that you think, and what you're going to realize is things start to become easier. Are you guys hearing me? Okay. So you need to change your speech, change your thoughts. And as you change your thoughts, your speech, by default, your speech will change, right? One of the things that I've always heard is that if you want to change your circumstances, change your situation, you have to change your environment, because ultimately your environment is going to affect what you do and how you do it, how you perform and how you think. And in doing that, you're going to start to attract people who think like you and talk like you and speak like you and want what you want. But you first got to change your mindset, change your words, change your speech. Because remember, guys, and most of you, everybody here knows what the law of attraction is, or who here has heard of law of attraction? Let me know in the chat. How many of you have heard that term, law of attraction? Very, very curious, all right? Because if you've never heard of the law of attraction, okay, if you've never read the book, The Secret, if you've never watched the video as well, The Secret, I would encourage you to do this. What it speaks about is changing the way that you think so that you change what you attract to you. Have you ever noticed that people who speak about wealth and abundance a lot generally are people who attract wealth and abundance, or they have wealth and abundance? Have you also noticed that people who are always suffering, what do they always talk about? They're always talking about how much they're suffering. They're always talking about how hard things are. They're always talking about how the economy is bad. They're always talking about how people did this and people did that, and the government needs to do this and the government needs to do that. And I wish I had this and I wish I had that, but I don't have this and I don't have that. And all their words, all of their speech, everything that comes out of their mouth is, I don't have, I don't have, this is not working, this needs to be better, you know. And because of that, and because of the fact as well that your thoughts can literally be measured, which means that they literally send out a frequency, a vibration into the universe. Understand that if that is a real thing, it's not just metaphysical. You literally can measure thoughts. How do you think lie detector machines work? They pick up certain impulses in the body and certain things move and change. Why do you think that when you're stressed out, so you may be thinking something, but your thoughts are so powerful that the stress from the thoughts causes your chest to hurt, causes your head to hurt, which are now physical things. All right. So someone type in the chat, if you guys are paying attention, you're plugged in with me. I want you to type this right now. Thoughts become things. I want you to go ahead and type that right now. We want you to type it, because in typing it, I want you to be plugging in and literally being encapsulated in this positive vibration right now. All right. Thoughts become things. So you have to guard your thoughts. Not just what you speak, that's going to be a byproduct of your thoughts. If you think the wrong things, you're going to start to attract that. If you think about what you want and only focus on what you want, what's going to happen is by default, you will start to attract what you want. And you might not even realize it. But if you keep speaking about negative, you will attract negative. If you keep focusing on that, that's what you will attract. Okay. So change your mindset, change the way you see things, and you'll start to change the things that you see. Many persons have asked me, how is it that you've been able to do this? How do you sponsor people so fast? How do you sign people up? How do you do it? Well, there's a couple of things, a couple of reasons. One, I want it bad enough. All right. When you want something bad enough, you don't find excuses. I hear people a lot say, oh man, I want to make this amount of money and I want to make that amount of money. I want to do this. I want to go big. But do your actions reflect what you say? As you guys know, even with the current business we're in, I do 2 calls per day, every day. Well, now except Saturday, well, still 2 calls, just that we're doing training on Saturday and Sundays, right? Why do you think that I'm doing 2 calls a day, every single day, and I plan to be doing that for the next 90 days at least? Why do you think that? Do you think it's because I have a lot of free time during the day and I have nothing else to do and I just want to give away all of my personal time? No. It's because I understand the assignment. It's because I want it bad enough. It's because I know that even if you're a part of our team, the Elevation Society, if you don't want it bad enough, that's on you. But I know that if I'm to get it, then I'm to get it. If it takes me, if I needed 100 people to reach a goal, I am not the kind of person that is going to wait for anyone in my team to do it. I'm going to be here to encourage you to help you do it. But I'm going to be thinking it takes 100 persons to achieve this level. If I got to sponsor 100 people myself, that is what I'm going to do. You see, this is the mindset that you have to have. You have to want it bad enough. So if I come and say, I would like to do this, I really want to do business, I want to go big, but I'm tired. I'm tired today. Tired? What you talking about tired? You can't afford to be tired, right? A lot of folks want to spend 8 to 10 hours sleeping. Are you kidding me? How you want to make $1 million, but you want to spend 8 to 10 hours sleeping? Billionaires don't spend those kind of hours sleeping. They take a couple hours. You only need 4 to 5 hours, maybe. You only need 4 to 5 hours. There's some billionaires I've listened to, they do siestas, they do what you call power naps. They don't do a lot of sleeping. That's what people who generally stay really, below where they want to be, they spend a lot of time sleeping. You don't have that luxury. You don't have that luxury. You can't tell me, Laverne, I want to make $100,000 a month, but you want to spend 8 hours sleeping? How? How are you going to do it? Do you understand how much time goes towards being asleep? No. You do what you got to do. You go big, you go hard, you go fast, and then you're going to be able to have all the sleep that you want, all the rest that you want because you hit your targets. But if you do what average people do, you're going to earn what average people earn. And you got to understand that it's not going to be a perfect situation. Things are not going to be perfect. It's not going to work how you want it all the time. I know you want to build your team, you want to see big numbers. Maybe it's not moving at the pace that you want. But the question is why? Are you doing what you expect your team to do? Right? Are you doing what you expect your team to do? You're telling your team, get on the calls, get on the calls, get on the Zooms. Are you on all the Zooms? You're telling your team, sponsor people, bring people, not sponsor people, sorry, invite people. Do you show up on the Zooms with people? Or are you just telling your team to bring people and you're hoping that they bring people? Every single day, y'all, I present these Zooms, but you better believe I'm inviting people to these Zooms. And when there's not a Zoom, I'm sending people that video. Why? Because I want it bad enough, because it matters to me, okay? So everything that you say has to be followed by actions. I don't get excited by people talking big. I meet a lot of people who tell me, man, we're gonna murder this, we're gonna kill this, we're gonna run these numbers up. Man, I can build big teams, I can do this, I can do that. Hey, that does not impress me one bit. I've met a lot of people who talk a good game and they don't do shit. A lot, right? So don't give me words. Let your actions and your results speak volumes, right? Let your actions and your results speak volumes. Don't tell me what you're gonna do, just go do it. Is this making sense, guys? All right? Because at the end of the day, as positive as it may be, as motivated as you may be, if you do not take action, and none of that matters. None of that matters, okay? Let's go to a couple of things real quick. Just a few points that I'm going to cover, some characteristics of a top networker, all right? So again, it's about mindset as well. But I want you to also understand, guys, that when it comes to leadership, because we want to develop leaders, okay? And the reason that you want to become a leader or evolve to being a leader is leadership is attractive. People are attracted to leaders. People like to be led. The truth is, majority of people are not leaders, they are followers. Which is why people who have some kind of influence or clout, there's always an entourage that wants to be around them. And because of ascension by affiliation, just being in the presence of some persons literally can elevate some persons. Are you with me? So if you want to be elevated in your thoughts, your mindset, and what you do and what you achieve and your income, you have to start associating with people who have either done it or doing it, people that you can run with, people that can guide you, that can lead you. Run with the runners, walk with the walkers, because some people move at a slightly slower pace, right? But the people who want to sit back and just crawl, you don't crawl with the crawlers, right? Don't crawl with the crawlers. So let's go through a couple points, 12 characteristics over the next couple, 30 minutes or so, and see how you can kind of adjust a couple of things. Let me just kind of move the chat over here, because remember, guys, at any point in time as well, you can use the chat. Let me know what you're thinking, any points you want to mention, and we'll bring it up. We'll discuss it, okay? Before I kind of get into these points, I don't know, Chris, Jody, anything at this point you want to jump in with? If not, it's cool. If you do, let me know. We do that before we jump into these 12 points. Are you unmuted though? Oh, sorry. Okay, so you're unmuted, Chris, Johnny. I don't know, anything you want to hop in with before we kind of jump into 12 points, or just you want me to kind of just keep flowing with it?
Sorry, I had the kids right here, so no, I wasn't going to jump on and say anything.
Okay, all right. So just keep going then, no problem. All right, so guys, let's get into these points. Again, if you want to take notes, take notes. That's perfectly fine. So, like I said, when it comes to leadership, guys, understand that it's about leadership is influence. Okay, first of all, it's influence. It's not about power. It's not about control or authority. It really is about serving others, right? You want to become a servant leader. It's not about you just being able to say, "Oh, I'm in this position, praise me or give me accolades." No. Being a true leader, y'all, is really about being willing to serve persons. Again, I don't do the Zooms because I need to do the Zooms. I talk to people directly and I get them signed up. I get answer the questions and go. These Zooms are done to help the team, right? My goal and focus is to benefit and to serve the team, to serve you guys. So the more that I do that, the more you can win as well. And that's how we all win. So it's really about serving other people. And a lot of people, they can't do that because they feel like, oh, if I do this, I'm just helping you, but it's not helping me. Oh, I don't want to do too much for this person or that person. I'm helping people that are not even in my team. I'm helping, right? People are reaching out to me from God knows where, and they're asking for advice on this. They're asking for information. They're asking for videos. They're asking for help. They want me to talk to this person or that person, and they're not even anywhere in my team, right? Now, of course, I do that within measure, because of course, obviously my focus is to develop the persons that connect with us, but there's nothing wrong with just being nice and helping someone who needs some assistance. They're not going to get all of my time devoted to them, but you can help out, all right? So understand as well and accept that this is sales. If you're focused about building a team, building an organization, this is sales. Every time that you share something with someone and you're presenting to them an opportunity, in a sense, it is sales. If they say, yes, I want it, and they purchase a package, you just made a sale and you are paid for the sales that you made. It's not a bad thing, right? Some of the biggest earning jobs in the world is based around sales. So please do understand that, all right? Please do understand that. So one of the first things that you want to do, guys, is you have to be ambitious, right? You have to be ambitious and have a desire. And this is what I was speaking about earlier when I said that the reason that I do what I do, the way that I do it, is because I want it bad enough. I want it so bad I can taste it, and you're gonna want it that bad. I hate to go to bed and I can't wait to wake up. Because I can't wait to get in front of my system, get to work, start to share, start to reach out to folks. Because in my mind, I'm building my empire. So it doesn't matter what else is going on around me. Everything else, it does not matter. You see, you got to have rhino mentality focus. A rhino, when it's focused on a target, nothing can stand in its way. Rocks, boulders, elephants, trees, it will bore through everything to reach its target and destination. So you've got to have this rhino focus and mentality if you're ever to hit it big. Are you guys with me? You cannot keep getting distracted and focused by nonsense, by things and people that do not have an interest in your growth, in your development, and in you achieving your targets and goals. You cannot afford to do it, literally. All right? And understand that there may be close people to you, friends, that they want to distract you with stuff. You have to stay focused, because at the end of the day, guys, you got to remember, your friends, they're not going to do the things that you're willing to do and sacrifice what you're willing to sacrifice. So you cannot let people distract you. And everybody's not going to be happy about it. Some people might stop talking to you for it. You got to see past that, brush that off, and do what you got to do. All right? You've got to do what you got to do. And it's hard for some to accept that, because, you know, my close friends say he or she is not interested in the business and they think it's a scam. And hey, that's their business, what they think. That has nothing to do with your business, okay? So you need to want it bad enough, and you have to have that burning desire. You got to taste it. You got to want it, right? You got to ask yourself, where do I want to be in the next 5 years with this business? So obviously, you know, we're focused on IX Global. And again, this might be a training if it's being recorded that can apply to any business per se. But just understand, guys, you have to have that ambition, that desire. You need to want it bad enough, okay? Secondly, you have to be purposeful. I've always said, and one of my favorite things is that success is intentional. Type that in the chat real quick, guys, all right? Because what you may or may not understand is, even just by you putting it there, you're typing it, you are bringing it from thought, you're bringing it into reality as you type those words, okay? This is about affirmations right now. So go ahead and type that. I want you to put that in. Success is intentional. It is not by accident. It's not by mistake. You have to intentionally do what you expect to happen, or intentionally take the action to create the result that you expect to happen. So you have to have the ending in mind, all right? You know what you want. You have to see it. You have to visualize it. Where do I want to be in 6 months, in 3 months, in 6 months, in 1 year, in 5 years? You have to visualize this and see it. You have to see the end at the beginning. All right? Now, how do you achieve this? How do you get to that? Well, in order to get to that desired result and goal, you have to create a certain amount of habits. Okay? You see, when you start to do things and you create that repetition, the repetition of what you're doing creates or makes it habitual, because you practice it so much that it becomes a part of you. Okay, which is why there's some leaders that you don't have to, or some people you don't have to get behind them and try to remind them of anything. They instinctively know what to do, and they just do it. There's some people you've got to be behind, other people you don't have to say a thing. They know what to do, they've practiced doing it, they've been consistent in doing it, and they've made that into a habit. All right, so create the habits that you need to get the results that you want. Thirdly, be curious. All right. Always be asking questions. I always heard Jesus did 2 things really, really good. He asked questions and he told stories. Hey, they say, hey, Jesus, look here, come here. Whose coin is this? And those of you who know the Bible, you know this is a real thing. So well, according to the Bible, whose coin is this? Jesus could have told you whose coin it was. He said, whose face do you see upon the coin? Right? Whose face do you see? Of course, you know it was Caesar's his coin. But Jesus could have told him whose coin it was. He wasn't just trying to be difficult. He let the person answer the question themselves. So you got to get in the habit of asking questions. Hey, what would you do if you could make an extra $500 a month? Hey, if I could show you something that could do that, would you be interested? Hey, when last did you get a chance to really travel and enjoy yourself? Most people are going to tell you, man, I don't have the time, I don't have the money to do this stuff, but I would love to. Ask questions, tell stories. Well, look, man, I don't know if you might be interested in this, but I recently got started in an opportunity, and man, this thing is absolutely amazing. I would love for you to see it. Would you be interested in checking it out? If it could do all the things that you say you would love to do? Don't try to tell them what they need to do. Ask questions. Let them sell you or sell themselves, sorry. Let them tell you what they want. When a person tells you what they want, isn't it much easier for you to give them a solution to their problem versus you trying to tell them what you think they want? It's like if I was selling houses and real estate, I can tell you, hey, Chris, I've got this house. It's 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage, sitting on 50,000 acres of nothing, well, sitting on 30 acres of land, all this great stuff. Man, I know you're gonna love it. I could tell Chris that. But what if I said, hey, Chris, what kind of house are you looking for, man? What is it that you are looking for? Because Chris might not be interested in a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3-car garage sitting on 20 acres of land or 30 acres of land. Chris might be like, man, really and truly, I just need like a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom even, and 1-car garage is fine. We got 1-car. I'm good with that. I don't need all those acres. Isn't it easier for me to go then and search for what Chris wants and provide a solution to his problem versus me being excited, thinking I'm going to sell a big property and trying to tell Chris what I think is better for him? So learn to listen a lot more. Be very, very attentive, okay, guys? Ask questions, tell stories, and be attentive. Listen. Listen twice as much as you speak, right? Listen twice as much as you speak. Some people, they just like to, they just want to get their word out. They just need that you hear them. Some people, they listen to respond. They don't listen to understand. So you always got to be telling some people, you don't even get a sentence finished sometimes. Have you ever met anyone like that? That you're trying to have a conversation, and before you can even finish your sentence, they're trying to respond because they're not really trying to understand you. They're just hearing you, they're hearing your words, but they already have their response in their mind. So before you can finish saying what you were saying, they already are trying to get their response out. So if you really want to be a great leader, you have to learn, listen to what is being said first, then respond, and you can respond better. Don't listen to hear, listen to understand so that you can respond correctly. Okay? So far, so good, guys? So far, so good? So we're at number 4. First one was being ambitious. The second one was you need to be purposeful. The third one was to be curious, ask questions. The fourth one was being attentive, listen and focus on what the prospect is saying, how they're saying it. Tone of voice matters. I always tell people, look, it's not what you say, it's how you say things. You could be saying something that you mean in a good manner. You might not be trying to sound aggressive. You might have all good intentions, but the way that you say it can totally shut a person down, right? So you got to watch how you speak. And the thing is, some people, they don't realize that. They think that they're saying it in a nice tone and it's coming over friendly. And they're like, but I'm just telling you something good. But they don't seem to understand that it's not what they are saying that's the problem, but it's just the tone of voice that they hit it with. So you got to always be conscious and cognizant of things like these, guys. Watch how you say things, your tone of voice, your mannerism. Some people, they'll scream stuff at you, right? So watch how you're saying it, because understand that nonverbal communication is a thing. You can say a lot without ever saying a single thing. Do you know that? Just the way that you're breathing, just your mannerism, how you breathe. People pick up on movements. People pick up on the way you position, how you look, your face, and your tone, expression, and so on. So you've got to pay attention to all of this when you're communicating to people, guys. All of this is part of communication, all right, that we have to be cognizant of, all right? So that's point number 5. Sorry, point number 4 was attentive. Point number 5 is be patient. Do not jump to conclusions, all right? Don't cut people off. Listen again, all right? Try to understand what they're saying and what is important to them. Because that there's a lot of money in the compensation plan of your company, does not mean that everyone wants to build a compensation plan. Does not mean that everyone wants to recruit people. Yes, there's a lot of money to be made from sharing it with others, but that doesn't mean that everyone wants to do that. So learn to listen. Is the person actually interested in building a team, or is the person only interested in just, buying a node, just earning passively? So if you don't listen to them, You're going to be trying to tell them what they need to do, and it's not going to work out. So now you get frustrated because they're not coming on calls. They're not coming on trainings. They're not coming on Zooms. They're not inviting people. They're not signing people up. That's because they never had an interest in that stuff. It's you that had an interest in that stuff, trying to hopefully change them to do it because you have an interest in that. So don't do that. Listen to what a person wants. And the beautiful thing is, if a person feels relaxed working with you, they don't feel like they're pressured to do anything, they are more likely to do more because they might like what they're getting passively and they might share it with other persons eventually either way. You understand? But if they feel like, oh man, you know, they're pushing me to come and do this stuff and pushing me to sign people up and pushing me to come on call, a person who's looking to be passive don't need to come on call for training. They don't even need to be here. They only want to be just passive. So they bought their product, brought their node, and it's making them money, full stop. Leave that person alone. All right? Leave them alone. So that's point number 5. Be patient, okay? Do not provide solutions to problems that don't exist. All right? Don't provide solutions. Point number 6, you want to be responsive, okay? Don't be a solution seller, right? Find out what the problem is first, right? And this kind of ties into what we just spoke about on number 5. Repeat to persons what their problem is. So you said that if you could make just an extra $300 to $400 a month, that could help you in a big win situation. Listen to what they need to change their situation. Yes? And if you understand what they need, and guys, if you see my eyes watering up, there's literally onions that are being cut on the other side of me, so forgive me. I literally can feel the onions in my eyes. All right, but put a paper towel next to it. It literally absorbs the stuff from the onion. So yeah, guys. So what was I saying? Right. So saying be responsive. Listen to what persons want, and then offer a solution to that. And once you can offer a solution to a person's problem, now you've got this mutual agreement that might be verbal or non-verbal. There's this mutual understanding. Okay, you're actually listening to me. You care about me, not just what you can get off of me or from me. You're actually listening to what my problems are. That goes such a long way in being a leader and being someone that people want to work with and people want to follow and people want to do business with. Yes? And as that happens, you will realize that it becomes effectively easier as you go on to build a business, because you don't always have to be starting over looking for new people. There are people who will follow you simply because they understand the character that you have within you. Yes? So you definitely want to work on your character. And if people see your true character, they will, even if they don't make a ton of money in an opportunity before, they know the kind of character that you bring and the personality that you have, and they will still be open to listening to you, following you, being guided by you, and ultimately, duplicating what you're doing. So point number 7, all right? Sorry, point number, 7 is be flexible, all right? What I mean by that is, guys, this is going to take time, right? This is not doesn't happen like that. It's going to take time, practice, okay? And as you practice, guys, all right, as you practice, you're going to get better. You're going to get more comfortable. You want to do things like go through the presentation, learn the presentation. All of that stuff is in your member account back office. Go through the presentation, learn the information, so that in the event that Zooms had to stop, what if I'm traveling, which is going to be happening? What if I'm traveling and I can't do Zooms? Are you going to be like, oh, well, there's nothing happening, let me stop talking to people until Zooms restart? Don't let your business be dependent on 1 or 2 Zooms. You need to be in a position where if you are building this as a business, you need to be able to present this as a business. If a person asks you questions and I have no clue, I don't know, then what? Now, obviously, if Zooms are happening and there's information going on already, plug persons into that. But you need to be at a place where you understand what to say, how to respond, answer some questions, because this is your business. It's not my business. It's yours. So you got to do what you need to do, okay? And that comes through practice, and it takes time, but make sure you do it. Point number 8, be creative, all right? connect with your prospect. Because here's the thing, most people are not good at connecting with people, right? Some people, they like to just talk to people, talk at people, all right? Talk at people, but you need to learn how to connect with people. And again, tell stories, listen to people, hear what they're going through, what they need to change their situation as well. Once that starts to happen, there's this trust that is occurring between you and the prospect, and this rapport that is built, and it makes it so much easier for business to happen and business to flourish. So that's point number 8. All right, remember we're going to 12 points, guys. And remember, we're sticking to within 1 hour. Point number 9, be confident. This is the big one. There's a lot of persons who are not confident. If you're not confident, guys, your prospects will see that. They will see that you're not confident based on how you speak and how you put it over. When you speak about your business, do you speak with confidence? Do you speak with authority? Or do you speak with, timidness? All right? When you speak, are you a timid speaker? Or do you speak with the confidence that is required to let people know that you believe in what you're doing, you're sure about it, you're confident about it, and this is a good decision for them? I promise you this. People will get involved or want to get involved with you simply based on the level of confidence that you exude and that they pick up on. So you've got to have a certain level of confidence, or what we like to call posture. There's certain people, you ever been to events perhaps, and there's certain people that when they walk in the room, just when they walk in the room, there's a different kind of air that is around them. People's heads turns, they look, they talk, oh, that's the guy, oh, that's her, right? Now, that might sound a little bit extreme, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to be presenting something that you genuinely believe can change your financial future and life in such a massive way, and you want to bring this to people, then you need to have that same level of posture. That when you speak, that people listen to you. That when you utter words, they pay attention to what you're saying, because you speak and exude a certain level of posture and confidence that nobody can shake from you. You cannot be timid and you cannot be shy. All right? You either go big or go home, guys. And even if you're scared on the inside, they don't need to see that. You need to just show them, I am sure about this business. I am sure about this opportunity and what I am telling you. They may not know all the details of it or understand all of the nitty-gritty, but they can see your confidence in what you're speaking about. Somebody type confidence in the chat for me. Confidence. So you need to have that posture, that confidence. All right? People will see that. Point number 10. We've got 2 more after that. Point number 10 is directional. You need to be directional. You need to understand where you're going. You also need to understand how you're going to get there. And the only way you know that is because you have to set a plan. Many persons join businesses and they don't have a plan. They just join and they hope that it works out, hope they can talk to some people, hope that they hit a level. They don't have a plan. How are you going to do it? How much persons do you need to talk to per day, per week, per month? How much calls do you need to be on? Work a ratio. But if one person signs up from every call I invite them to, how much persons would it take for me to invite onto these calls, knowing that out of every 5 or every 8, I might get 1? Do the numbers. How much then do I need to invite per call, assuming that I might only get 1? Work your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So understand and work your numbers. Create a plan that you know by X time, based on this realistic ratio, because you need to have set realistic targets, yes? But we get into some of that stuff in a different, in another training, probably next week. But if you don't know these things, then you're going to be all over the place like a chicken with its head off. Or turkey. I only say that for the folks in the US, since yesterday was Thanksgiving, right? Or day before, all right? So be directional. Have a sense of direction. Know where you're going. Have your compass set. And stay on path, stay on course, stay focused. Focus, F-O-C-U-S. Yes, F-O-C-U-S. Firmly on course until successful. All right? You guys can type that on the chat if you want. F-O-C-U-S. You got to stay focused. Firmly on course until successful. That's what it means to be focused. All right? Don't switch, don't swerve, don't get distracted. All right? You will never build any major business trying to do multiple businesses at once. Let me just throw that in there. I'm not saying you will not make money from multiple things. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you can't have multiple streams of income, but if you're looking to get into the 6-figure, 7-figure income realm in any type of business within this industry, you have to focus. Otherwise, you're going to always be going through this process of trying to figure out which business do I tell him about? Should I sign him up here or should I sign him up there? Or if he's here, maybe I could get him in this one as well and this one as well. Great. But how everyone cannot multitask and focus and spread that between 2, 3 things. Some people can hardly focus on one for at least 2 or 3. And this is why, even though I had started my own business a few months ago, the potential that this has is by far so much more than anything that at this point I can even think of tapping into, that I decided to shift my focus. Doesn't mean that that is 100% on the back burner. Obviously, earnings from this business is going to build that up. But you got to be smart. I put my focus on where I can see the most benefits potentially for everyone. And the beautiful thing is this literally fit in with all of my principles that I was looking for. Something that we can trust, something that is transparent, something that is flexible, something that is lucrative, something that makes sense, something that is tangible. So it just took everything that I wanted to do for myself and others. It did it. So it was an easy transition for me. And now I'm going to help everyone there to transition and into this process as well. So be directional, know where you want to go, have your map, set your course, and stay on track. Point number 11, all right? Be relationship cemented. Be relationship cemented. By that, how should I say? Let it be focused around building of relationships versus transaction. That's the best way to put it. Don't let your relationships or don't let your interactions with your team and people you want to share the opportunity with be just transactional. Oh, I want you to join this business because, because I want to make some money off of you, because I want you to join because you have a big team. No. How can you help them? How can you solve their problems? How can you provide a solution to problems that they have? All right. So don't let it be transactional. You want it to be relational. I don't even know if that's a word, but let it be relationship based, okay? Every sale, okay, as it is, could be more than just that, all right? It's really about how you treat that connection that you establish with the individual. And finally, guys, the last one is persistence. Understand that most people will, but generally, most people say no. Interestingly enough, I have to admit that with this particular opportunity that we're part of, most people don't say no. To be quite honest, most people do not say no with this particular opportunity. However, generally, most people will say no. And you have to understand that that's all right. You have to understand that where you are mentally or psychologically may not be where they are. You have to understand that you may want it to a certain extent that they may not want it, okay? So this is why we hear about things like the law of numbers and the law of averages, right? There are going to be persons that will say yes, there's going to be persons that will say it's not for me, I'm not interested, I don't want to be involved. That is 100% okay. And you have to be okay with that as well. You cannot get mad at people for making a personal decision. That is their personal choice. Your only effort, job, mandate is to sort, right? I want everyone to type this. Sort, don't convince. All right? I want you to type that. Sort, S-O-R-T, sort, do not convince. Your job is not to is not to convince people of anything. Your job is to sort through who is interested in changing their situations. And when they provide you through your listening, being attentive, being patient, being attentive, being responsible, you can then offer a solution to their problem that they have. And once you can offer them a solution to the problem they have presented to you, it's a much easier transition to get them to want to see what you're doing and to plug in. All right? So you are sorting through persons. You are not trying to convince persons. Okay, guys? And that's point number 12. All right. Sort, be persistent, of course, but of course, we tie that in with sorting versus convincing. Guys, those are our 12 points for today. That's our training. We have about 5 minutes, and then we're going to bring our call to a close. What I love, if there's anyone that would like to quickly jump in and say, you know, what point out of all these 12 points that we mentioned, very quickly, guys, we're done in 1 hour, okay? What points jumped out to you the most? So let's move quickly. Let's get a little bit of interaction. I'm going to go ahead and you can raise your hand, or you can, I promise you can unmute everyone. Which points hit home to you the most? Which points stood up to you the most? Let's see here. Let me check the chats. Okay, so Chris and Johnny say law of attraction. Fantastic. All right. Go ahead, Claudette. Your mic is unmuted. What stood up to you the most?
Yes, the point about being confident. I am working through that, working through it because of, and I'm not being negative here, because of past experiences, and I'm always at the back of my mind, what if,
Right.
you know, and so that level of confidence, I don't have it yet, especially when people bring that point to me. I'm not sure how to always, you know, say, no, this is different and that sort of thing. And even if I say it, I don't know if it comes across as me being confident or just saying it, you know. So that is a point that I'm where I'm at, struggling, as it were.
Well, I'll tell you what, the good thing is, one, being able to admit that is a very big step. I think one of the solutions to being better and doing better is understanding where you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, accepting that, acknowledging that, and then putting things in place to adjust that. You see what I'm saying? So the fact you're on this call tells me that you are already in the pre-alpha position. You've got the alphas who are out there. That's the Chris and Jonies, that's the Kevin Lattimores, that's the Shankys and the Coach Nally and the Janelles and so on, the Eltons and the Juniors, the Lizannes. I like to call a lot of other names, right? That's the alpha. We know we got to do it. We can do it. We're confident. We have gone through enough that we can hit it. It hits us, it bounces off, and we keep going. You've got the pre-alphas, like yourself, Claudette, where you want it. You know you want it. You're willing to do what it takes, and you're willing to learn how to do it. That's good. You're in the pre-alpha mentality. But then you have the betas. Some people are still in beta stage. They're very shy. They haven't got to the pre-alpha stage yet, where they're doing what is necessary to learn and to change that. So don't worry about it. All you need to do is things that what we're doing now, plug into work trainings. Associate yourself with people who are doing it already. Learn from those who are doing it, and by default, by process of by not law of attraction, but by association. All right, by law of association, you are going to start to pick up the habits of those persons who are doing it already. Yes, that's how the law of association works. If you're 5 millionaires around you and you're associating with them consistently, by default, you are very likely to become the 6th millionaire because you start to pick up their habits, right? Which is why if you're around toxic people, eventually you become toxic. If you're around negative people, you pick up their negative traits and their toxic traits as well. So you're in that process right now, okay? I hope that helps you. Don't worry about it. Eventually, it's going to get easier and easier. You'll have better rebuttals, better ways of overcoming objections, and it's not going to affect you as much. What it also means is, because of bad experiences before, it's just that you're living a little bit in the past. And don't beat yourself up about it. Many people do that. And it makes it hard for them to move forward into what is destined for them in the future, because they're so focused on what happened to them in the past. That is a process. All right, very quickly, we see Kevin says, focus. He said that was very impactful to him. Right, many people just glance at it instead of focusing. Very, 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 very true. You gotta immerse. Sorry, you have to. What's the word I'm looking for? Immerse yourself into it. Right. That's it. You gotta immerse yourself into it. Thank you so much. Right. Teamwork makes the dream work. Mindset, very much so. Go ahead. I think I saw. Oh, I thought I saw Infinity's hand up just now. Right. So good stuff, guys. Mindset. We got 2 more minutes to go. Anyone else? Any other points? Okay, go ahead, Infinity. Your mic is unmuted. I see your hand is up.
Yeah, good morning, Olivier.
Morning, sir.
Well, the first opportunity you had introduced me to was Tradera, And it was really kicking it Tradera because I got over 100 people to join. But then after the company just disappeared, a lot of people like lost that confidence in me. What can I do to really like regain confidence with people in this endeavor?
I got you, bro. The best, I always learn, right? One of my favorite sayings is the best revenge is all about massive success. You don't need to try to convince them. All you need to do is keep pushing, create another story, create that success, and let your success speak for you. You don't need to try to speak and try to convince and try to pull them and twist their arm. Oh my guys, I promise you, trust me, this one is different. Please, this one is better. You gotta now do what you're doing and let your success speak volumes. That's all you need to keep doing. Sort, don't convince. Do what you're doing, keep doing what you're doing right now. You're plugged in, you're ready to get to work, and you're gonna talk to fresh people, new people, and then you're gonna create some success, and then we help you develop that. Your success is gonna speak for you. You don't have to do it yourself, brother.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, man. Chris, go right ahead, my brother. Your mic is unmuted. Or Joni, I'm not sure which one going.
Hey, Coach Veer, can I say something for 30 seconds about Tradera?
Yeah, sure, Kevin, go ahead.
This is completely not related, but it's also related. I was also in Tradera. That was my first time understanding how Forex worked. And the cool thing about that was, it was $99 a month. And yes, the company went away. And yes, it was bad ownership. I think they were way too young to run a company. But the mechanics of what they taught us was so important. And certainly not bragging or anything, but if you can let me share a screen, I'm going to show you guys something mind-blowing. And what I want to accomplish with this is empower the last person who just asked that question. And I know it wasn't 100% specific to Tradera, like, what happens when something doesn't work, but I want to show you the flip side. It says host disabled sharing.
Oh, sorry, sorry about that. Let me see if I can,
because it's the most,
go ahead.
as I wouldn't even call it bad, but whatever Tradera was, I want to show you the reality of how it turned out. And I'm just going to log into something here really fast. And I don't know if you can see my screen. Can you see this blue circle? This is, again, not bragging and not even trying to tell you anything about this. This is my passive earnings from a Forex company for the last 30 days. And this, as much as I hate Tradera and what they did and how they rug pulled all of us, if I never joined Tradera, I would never understand how to do this. This is also Forex. And then really quickly, there's pages and pages of this, but I'll just look at, you see right here, this is the 23rd of November to the 25th. So just my last 3 days of trading. Now somebody else is trading for me, but if I give someone my money, I want to so in 3 days, I made $67,000 in Forex. And again, I'm mad at Tradera. I got ripped off in Tradera, but I learned in Tradera. The $99 a month I was spending put me in a position that a year or a year and a half, whatever long it's been later, I'm able to make these moves and make this kind of money because of that. So again, I just want, the reason I'm showing this to you is for that person to feel on the inside, you did the right thing. Even when we lose, we win, right? What do they call it? It's either a blessing or a lesson, right? A blessing or a lesson, they kind of say. So Tradera was actually, well, both really, but you could say it's a lesson. It didn't work out, but we learned how to do Forex. We got a skill. And that's also why I like this company here, because I still like companies that teach you how to do this. Too many people look at it and say, oh, I got to pay $100 every month. I hate auto ships. I didn't really like it, but it was just what a necessary evil. And now you're seeing, I used to cry about paying $100 a month, and now I'm making $67,000 every 3 days. So things lead you somewhere. And even if something's negative, you learn, like the light bulb with Thomas Edison. He learned, it took 10,000 tries for him to make the right light bulb. Well, the other 9,999 were just ways not to make a light bulb. And it sounds like you're just trying to make lemons out of lemonade, or the other way around, sorry. But it really is a thing if you can understand that nuance. Maybe you can just wrap that little piece up, and I'll be quiet, LaVere. But just because, a lot of us have those companies, even Epic, some people might know Epic. And also I met you in those things. And I met Chris and Joni. Well, I knew them from before, but that's the first time we really reunited. So
Yep.
things don't always have to work out and be long-term and this and that and so on. You know, my ex-wife, sorry, I'm taking your whole call over. My ex-wife, it didn't work out as a marriage, but I still love the two beautiful kids that we uniquely created together. So was it really a mistake? Yes and no for that.
Right, fantastic. Appreciate it, man. That is fantastic. And I hope everyone catches the point of what Kevin is saying. Things don't necessarily always work out the way we want or expect them to. However, you do need to remember that a seed needs to, like, some things need to die for other things to grow. Does that make sense? Some things need to die for other things to be able to grow. So all that you need to do is you plant your seeds, That seed is going to decay. Out of the decay of that seed, with the dirt, with the minerals and the nutrients in the soil, the right fertilizers and stuff around that decaying seed, which is the people that you're plugged in with, the association that you have, and you have all of this fertilizer and these minerals, these nutrients that are feeding this seed. As it decays, life is born. A seed, it decays, you get the plant, and so on. So some things need to happen that you don't like or want to happen for better things to come out of that. And that overall, guys, is the point of what we're saying. Chris and Johnny, let's see if your mic, if your mic is going, is working. You can raise your hand.
Yes, hello.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Hi, can you
Hi.
guys hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
I just wanted to, first of all, congratulate Lavere for just kicking butt and taking names in this. We're so proud of what you're doing. You're a leader at heart, and obviously we know that you're going to succeed at this like you've done with all your other businesses in the past. And yes, we've always had, many of us have had failures in life. That's life, right? You can't have successes without the failures. So you have to remember that just because we've had a loss in past businesses, I'm referring to some of the people that had questions here and concerns about this business, you can't not take that step forward. And you know, what's your other option? To do nothing, no businesses, right? And so we persevere and we work hard. And, you know, we've done a lot of different things in the past, but I'll tell you there's always a red flag with some of those companies that you think, you know, they sound really great and everything's great. Some of the businesses that we were involved with in the past, we know so many high level leaders, 6, 7, 8-figure leaders that wouldn't touch those businesses with a 10-foot pole. And here we are in this, and this is attracting major players. This is attracting people with big money. Like, this is a legitimate business. And it makes logical sense, backed by like real world projects. It just makes sense. So you can't let those past concerns bother you. And I think we touched base on that already, but I just wanted to again come back to what Lavere has accomplished here. And specifically the concept of setting a goal, setting a target, working hard, and not giving up until it's done. Last Thursday night, we were up all hours of the night with Lavere trying to get that promotion out of the way, and we did not quit. Winners never quit and quitters never win, right? And it's amazing how many people we were trying to contact that day that didn't even reply to a message, didn't even give it, you know, a second attention when we're doing everything we can to achieve these goals and rank up. Most people are busy watching TV, you know, oh, someone's trying to get a hold of me. Oh, well, you know, they're not even aware of the situation. And that brings me to the concept that I like to train on, which is called the situation of critical urgency. So all of us are brand new in this business. This is launch time. This is not time to be humming and hawing and thinking and worrying and wondering what this business will do. This is about doing what Lavere is doing, being intentional, setting major goals and going out and smashing those goals with an intention. So Chris and I call this the situation of critical urgency. When you're brand new in your business and you're just getting started, you have to first of all set a goal of where you want to be down the road, right? Like, I would like to be able to replace that job income, or I would like to be able to, you know, pay off this car or this mortgage or whatever the goal is, right? And set that goal. And then you need to take a look at the compensation plan and figure out exactly how you are going to accomplish that within this vehicle. Because this is a vehicle to get you where you want to go with your life goals and dreams. And that's what everybody wants in life, right? We all want to have more time with our family, to not have to work as hard, to be able to take those vacations, to be able to, you know, load up on a big, you know, nest egg of money. So basically what I wanted to talk about is setting goals. And so with this, you need to take a look at the compensation plan and decide where you want to be. When you first get started, your absolute first goal is going to be your 3 and 3, obviously, so that it doesn't cost you anything out of your pocket to be involved in business. And then take a look at the promotion levels. So your first promotion level, if you take a look at, and there's many different ways we get paid in this this compensation plan, but I'm just going to talk about the enrollment tree bonus for now. And so your very first promotion would be $87.50 a week. The next one's $200 a week. The next one's $500 a week. The next one's $1,000 a week. And the last one is $2,000 a week income, which is a six-figure income. And we can all probably safely say that that would retire almost anybody from their full-time income if you could go make a six-figure income. That doesn't even include, okay, I've got somebody driving past me here, so hopefully you guys can hear me. That doesn't even include the rest of the pay plans within IX Global. So it's very lucrative. And what I want you guys to do is write down exactly where you want to be, exactly what you want to accomplish in life and in this business. And that's a long-term goal, like this is where I want to be. And then I want you guys to go out and take those baby steps. First of all, by getting your 3 and free, next making your first promotion to, so that's apprentice, and then builder, and then producer, and then executive producer. And you guys have seen Lavier doing it. He just smashed through those promotions, one after the other, after the other, after the other. And that wasn't by coincidence. That was very intentional, trust me. His last promotion, we did everything we could possibly do by the deadline to get that accomplished that week. And so it's so important to not only have a goal, but to have a deadline with that goal, right? And so if we have 2 more minutes, I just want to say a quick story. Do we have 2 more minutes?
Yeah, okay, 2 more minutes. Yeah, we definitely got to go because I gotta head out as well. But yeah, 2 more.
Do you know what? I'll save the story for next time.
You sure?
It's an interest.
It's 2 more minutes. 2 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk about how Chris and I first got started in the networking industry. I just want to tell our story because it's kind of a fun one. We were just kids. They actually called us the kids because we were, I think, 21 and 22 years old when we got started. We both had, random jobs. I was working downtown Calgary, oil and gas. Chris had 3 jobs, and we were just depressed. We never got to see each other. We were working full time, and I didn't really see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And we wanted to go full time in the business. Luckily, our very first week in the business, I got the opportunity to go down to the big event, and I saw something I'd never seen before. I saw people getting cardboard checks on stage for hundreds of thousands of dollars, driving fancy cars, going to fancy gala dinners, getting recognized on stage. And so I set some goals. And I'd never done any kind of business in my life before. I had no reason to succeed. We were literally kids. We had no business friends. So I wrote down, I want to be on that stage. So what do I got to do to be on that stage? And there was this award called the Rookie of the Year Award. And I thought, well, somebody has to win the Rookie of the Year Award. And I'm a rookie, so I wrote it down. And then I noticed if you got promoted to executive, you got recognized on stage. So I wrote that down. And then they had this Top Gun Award where you got to win a trip, a vacation. I'd never been anywhere before. So of course I wanted to win the vacation. I wrote that down. And I went back home, and it just so happened that within that first month that we got started with that business, I got to go to an event called the Millionaire Mind Intensive event. And at this event, they talked about your thoughts and this whole law of attraction and the concept of what you think about. And I didn't realize that Chris and I had said, we were talking about our goals, and he said, well, I want to be #1 money earner in the company. And I was upset. I was so upset. I thought it was totally arrogant and cocky, and that was just wrong, and we shouldn't set that goal. I just thought that maybe we didn't deserve it. I don't know what it was. But anyways, after the seminar, they talked about how we were trained to think that money is the root of all evil. Money doesn't grow on trees. People will think differently of you if you make a lot of money. And that was one that really stuck with me because all my friends and family told me I was getting into something that I shouldn't get into. So regardless, despite to say we decided to, after that event was over, I realized, you know what, it's true. Money doesn't make you a bad person. It makes me more of who you are. You can give more, do more, have more, and all of a sudden, all the limits came off of my mind for what we could accomplish. And Chris and I we set out and we just focused on those goals. And that year we accomplished every single one of those things that we had written down, became top 3, top 5 money earner in the entire company within our first year, and then from that moment on, we've never looked back. We've never had a job. We've literally been able to make 6 figures in whatever business we put our mind to, because we understand the process and the mindset and this whole concept of the situation of critical urgency, setting goals and being intentional. That's all I wanted to say.
Wow. That is just absolutely amazing. And guys, that just goes to show the power of, when you're focused and you know exactly, what you want to do, and you set your goals, you set your targets, and you set realistic goals as well, because that's very important. Setting realistic goals and measurable goals and timelines and so on. It makes so much more of a difference because you have a set game plan. All right. Guys, I hope everyone enjoyed the training today. This is our first official team training that we did. I just decided let's switch it up from being an opportunity call and we just do Super Saturdays. And I think it was a fantastic success. Thanks to all that shared. Thanks to Kevin for sharing the benefits of never giving up and showing that out of every bad situation can also come a good situation. You know how they say a setback ain't nothing but a setup for a bigger comeback. Thanks to Chris and Joni, of course, for introducing me to this opportunity, blessing me so that I can actually go out there and bless others as well. And together, as a team, we can all achieve more. You know what it means, guys. TEAM, together, each achieves more. Great first training. Glad that we did this. It is recorded, but there's nothing like being on the live call, is there? So guys, again, today is Saturday. On Sunday is when we do our technical training. So tomorrow, Sunday evening at 3 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Caribbean time, we have our technical training where we will then teach you how to navigate your back office, what the buttons do, how to set your accounts up, what to do and what not to do. That would be technical type stuff, all right? With that being said, our training for today is over. Had a fantastic time. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Go right ahead. Brand new week was kicked in from yesterday, Friday. So make this week count, guys. Make this week between now and next Thursday your biggest week ever, guys. Let's go there. Let's all be great. Have a great day. Our call is now officially over. Bye-bye.